So now we've talked about the mission and vision. You've set the standard, the groundwork, the foundation for what your organization is going to be like. Now, here's the 5 C's on how to really lead that sales team, how to grow it, how to maintain it, how to recruit, all the things that you're going to need under that umbrella of sales leadership. These 5 C's hit every single one of those points. And if you do these 5 C's right, and if you really pay attention to them and you make sure you're executing on these, you can't fail. C number 1 is compliment. I learned this from a gentleman named Will Guidara, who wrote Unreasonable Hospitality. Complimenting your team goes so much farther than people think. If you are someone, or if you've had a leader in your life, you ever had a manager or someone who kind of was your boss, and they used to only criticize you, you hated them because they never told you when you were doing good. When you were doing good, they just didn't say anything. And then they only reprimanded you when you were bad. And that causes really, really bad culture. It causes a hate for that leader, and you don't ever want that. You want your team to respect you and like you. So you always have to be complimenting people, telling them when they do a good job, when they did something good, maybe sharing it with the team at a meeting, maybe telling them one-on-one. A really, really, really strong way to do it, which I don't see often, is I'm going to tell one of their peers or one of the other people in that organization and let it get back to that person that I was complimenting them on how good they are at follow-up. And there's another part to this, which is, let's say I want someone to be really good at follow-up, or they're kind of getting there, but they're good at closing, but they're not that great at follow-up yet. They kind of don't do it as much as I want them to. I'll start telling everybody how great Joe is at following up, and I'll tell everybody but Joe. I'll say, if you want to learn how to follow up, talk to Joe. He's the guy to learn how to follow up with. And I'll let that get back to Joe. Joe will now feel positive peer pressure to go and get really good at following up because the boss or the leader keeps talking about how good he is at that particular part of the business. So when you're complimenting, you can compliment one-on-one directly to the person. You can compliment in a meeting with everyone around. The third most important compliment is what I call the backdoor compliment. Because now it's like you're talking behind his back. You didn't have to say that. You're not doing it for any reason. You really think that about that person. So it's super strong, and always, always be complimenting. Always. If you read Will Guidara's book, I think he said on average, when he was running the restaurant, he ran the #1 restaurant in the world, he would compliment each and every single waiter and waitress 150 times a night. Every plate drop that was good, great job. Everyone that was bad, hey, you got to do this instead. But all night long, he was giving people compliments and criticism nonstop.